Welcome back. Good morning. How are you all? As you know, we are going through the chapter Measurement and Motion, chapter number 6. Today, this is part 4 of ours, and we are going to discuss about types of motion. Up to now, we have learnt about when an object is said to be in motion. Are you ready to learn science with me? Let's go. Yesterday, we concluded there that an object is said to be in motion when it keeps on changing its position with respect to its immediate surrounding. Now, a question is coming in our mind. Do all objects change their position in a similar manner with respect to their immediate surrounding? Three pictures are shown here. Let's observe one by one. First one is of a fan. The blades of fan are moving round and round without changing their position because these blades are fixed at a central point. A cyclist, a boy wearing green shirt, moving on a rectilinear path, straight path, and a blue shirt boy is taking swing. The way of changing position is to and fro, front and back. In this way, we can conclude that every object, when in motion, there is a particular way of changing the position, and on the basis of that, there are various types of motion. When we observe these pictures carefully, a cyclist going on a straight road, the blades of moving fan, and a child on a swing, they all are regarded as being in motion. But we can feel that there is some difference in their motion. The cyclist is moving along a straight line. The blades of a fan are going round and round about the central road, and the child is swinging to and fro in a regular manner. We thus realize that motion can be of different type. To understand the differences in the motion of different objects, we are going to divide these motion in various categories. Let's discuss one by one. Broadly, we can say motion can be of different types. We can categorize motion of different objects into number of categories. Number 1, rectilinear motion. Number 2, curvilinear motion. Number 3, rotation and revolution. Number 3, periodic and non-periodic motion. And number 4, oscillatory motion. To grab the detailed meaning of these type of motion, let's discuss one by one broadly. Here we are taking the first one, that is rectilinear motion. We all feel happy and thrilled when we watch school children in their colorful dresses marching on the Rajpath on the Republic Day. And we can compare their motion with motorists going straight on a straight road, or that of the striker in a game of carom. When you are playing carom and hitting the striker, the motion of striker is also in straight path. In all these cases, the objects are moving along a straight path, dear students. We call such a motion as rectilinear or linear motion. So, if you are going on your cycle on a straight road or in your car, which type of motion you are? you are in rectilinear motion. This is all about the first type of motion. Now we are going through the definition of it. Rectilinear motion. An object is said to be in rectilinear motion when it changes its position on a rectilinear or straight path. For example, motion of bicyclist on a straight path and marching past of soldiers on Rajpath on a Republic Day or some other function. Now come to the second category, that is curvilinear motion. See the picture shown here. Have you played such type of game by standing yourself near a bank of river or a pond? The falling stone moves from one position to another along a curved line. So, when an object moves from one position to another along a curved line, the object is said to have curvilinear motion. Think about when you are writing something on a page, the movement of tip of your pen, or a bus moving uphill on a zigzag road. All such type of motion are considered to be the curvilinear motion because an object changes its position on a curved path. Now let's revise the definition once again. Curvilinear motion. An object is said to be in curvilinear motion when it moves along a curved path. For example, motion of the tip of a pen while writing, and second one, a bus moving uphill on a zigzag road. This is all about curvilinear motion. Don't forget to play once again to observe the movement of stone when it is thrown by you next time in the pond or the river. You can also observe right now the movement of tip of your pen while writing something on your notebook. This is all about curvilinear motion, dear student. Come to the next one. That is rotation and revolution. These two types of motion are very familiar to you up to now, as you already know that our planet Earth rotates at its axis continuously and complete one of its rotation in 24 hours. Likewise, our Earth also revolve around the sun, and the period of one revolution is 365 1 by 4 days. Let's understand what is the difference between the changing of position of Earth during these two types of motion. First of all, think about the moving fan, the blades of moving fan. These are seen as moving but are clearly not moving along a straight line path. The same is true for a potter's wheel. मटके बनाते हैं जहाँ पे potters. The wheel of sewing machine or a child on a merry-go-round, your favorite झूला. In all these cases, the object are changing their position with time but are still effectively at the same place. Though they are changing their position but they are at the same place, we call such type of motion as rotatory motion. So we can conclude an object is said to have a rotational motion if it keeps on moving round and round or keeps on spinning about some definite line or axis without changing its place. Now let's recapitulate the appropriate definition of rotational motion. An object is said to be in rotational motion if it keeps on moving round and round without changing its place. For example, motion of potter's wheel and of blades of a fan, moving fan. Let's move towards the next category, that is revolutionary motion. As you know, moon keeps on moving around our earth. Likewise, earth keeps on moving around the sun. It means both these heavenly bodies, moon and the earth, are revolving around a central point. Such a type of motion is called revolutionary motion. Here again you can say that the objects are not changing their position on a straight line, but still changing their position continuously and are moving nearly in a circular path about a central point. And we call such a motion as revolution. So now let's grab the appropriate definition of revolutionary motion. An object is said to be in revolutionary motion when it keeps on moving around a central point. For example, motion of earth around the sun and motion of the moon around the earth. Both the types of motion comes in the category of revolutionary motion. Are you ready for next category? Same examples of moon and earth can be taken to understand next category of motion, that is periodic and non-periodic motion. Moon moves around the earth. It takes about 30 days to make one complete revolution. This motion is then repeated and the process goes on and on month after month. Here, an object repeats itself after a regular interval of time. Such a type of motion is known as periodic motion. Same is the case with the earth. Earth revolves around the sun and it takes a fixed period to revolve around it and repeat itself after regular interval of time. Likewise, the motion of the hands of a clock are also in periodic motion. So, we can conclude that an object is said to be in motion, periodic motion, when it repeats itself after a regular interval of time. For example, motion of hands of a clock and motion of the earth around the sun. In both the cases, object, you can say hands of a clock, or in second case, earth, repeat themselves after a regular interval of time. Observe the movement of lips while speaking. Their movement continues as long as we are speaking. When we stop, there is no movement of lips. However, the movement occurs again when we speak again. Thus, the movement of lips may get repeated, but there is no regularity of time. Here, we call such the motion as non-periodic motion. There are other examples of such type of motion. For example, a ball rolled on a floor keeps on moving for a while but does not repeat its motion after it stops. All such non-repetitive irregular motions are known as non-periodic motion. And we can conclude that an object is said to be in non-periodic motion when it does not repeat itself after a regular interval of time. For example, movement of lips and players playing hockey match or football match. All such examples are the examples of non-periodic motion. Now come to the last category of motion, that is oscillatory motion. To understand this motion, this type of motion, let's see the pictures given here. And definitely you are having a pendulum clock in your houses. The movement of that pendulum is to and fro. Same point but moving in front and back. Likewise in the case of swing and the ringing bell. In all situation, an object keeps on changing its position on the same path at a regular basis. Such type of motion is known as oscillatory motion. An object is said to be in oscillatory motion when it moves to and fro along the same path in a regular periodic way. For example, movement of pendulum and a child moving on a swing. So, keep your body in motion to observe various types of motion in your surrounding. I have put many objects from your surrounding in this. Think about the motion of these objects. Thank you and have